guys? We are back for an all-new Couch Quickie. I am your host, Nadia.
And I am your co-host, Omar. What's up, everybody? I thought you were going to introduce me.
I decided not to.
All right, I'm with it. I was like, we'll roll with the punches. Pow, pow, pow.
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't.
True.
So let's just get right into it, shall we? Should I just set the clock or should I do an intro before?
Well, let's tell them what we're going to do the Couch Quickie on.
Before?
And then we'll start the clock. And then...
We may need the extra time.
All right. All right. So you want to delay it? No, start it and then we'll see.
All right. Start it. Start the clock. Ready?
I'm so ready.
Okay. 20 minutes. It's so funny. My timer was on like 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm always like 5 more minutes in bed. Okay.
You're using the snooze timer?
Yeah, I'm just hitting the timer, not the alarm. Timer, not alarm. Okay. Ready, set, go. Start. All right, guys. Today first of all, it is March is Women's History Month.
Okay.
Right? So we were like, who could we talk about? There's so many amazing women. But I was like, who better to talk about than one of my favorite women of all time?
Mm-hmm.
She has large blonde hair and large breasts and a large personality.
A large.
I love her so much for so many reasons. She's one of the biggest singer-songwriters of all time. She's been in the industry for 50 years. Today we're talking about Miss Dolly Parton.
That's right.
Yes.
Give it up.
Woo! Fans screaming.
Mark will put some
cheers. The crowd goes wild. I love her so much. How do I count the ways?
I know, it was so funny because when you were like, oh, we should do a Couch Quickie on Dolly Parton, I was like, okay. Like I have learned some stuff recently.
Mm-hmm.
And before we decided to do this, just through TV and podcasts and stuff like that. And we can get to that later. But I was like, yeah, totally. And I was like, man, she is going to just go in. Like, I figured you were going to come out the gates like, all right, let me tell you how much I love Dolly Parton. And right before we start this, you're like, man, am I going to be able to make it 20 minutes? I'm like, trust, we're going to be able to do it.
I don't know. So, it's just one of those things that I love and I love her.
You love her so much you can't even talk.
I can't even speak. I'm stumbling. I just really admire her and I respect her. And even through all those things, I'm just like, can I talk about someone for 20 minutes? It's still every time I'm like, oh, I don't know. And it's one of those things that you just don't want to spew facts about somebody.
Right.
But nonetheless, let's just get into it.
Nonetheless, let's hit them with some facts.
And let me spew the facts.
So let's do this. Give them some facts. Hard-hitting facts from Nadia on Dolly Parton.
Well, okay. So my introduction to Dolly Parton and why I'm kind of like so obsessed with her is it started really early when I was really young. I don't remember how old, and I don't remember where or when I saw Steel Magnolias. But arguably, that's probably... I think it is my favorite movie of all time.
We've watched... You've made me... Not made me, but...
just
by putting it on, and I'm like, all right, let's do this. What has it been, 3 times already?
At least.
Yeah.
And I said the other day, I was like, damn, I think it's time to watch Steel Magnolias. It's been a while. I like to watch it at least once a month.
Okay. Well,
I don't know, but okay, we'll get to Steel Magnolias, but
all
right now on Dolly.
Facts. Right now, facts.
Yeah. I don't know. To me, her character in that movie, there was just something that I gravitated towards. And I just found her so endearing and charming and adorable. And she's just so little with this big blonde hair and her little voice. And she just has such a kind and genuine heart. And you can feel it. You can just feel it. Even through her character, that wasn't even her. She was playing a role, but you could still feel it. And so that movie put her on the map for me. And then I started to kind of like get into her more.
Okay. Well, I think the funniest thing is that I don't remember how I became aware of her.
Oh, okay.
For me, she's always existed, which obviously she has because she's been around for so long.
She's always existed.
Yeah, like in my as far as my lifespan, she's always existed.
Yeah, she's 75 now.
But I always just
she was born January 19th, 1946. She's a Capricorn.
Boom, more facts. 50 years in the entertainment industry. Look, I'm stealing some of Nadia's facts.
Yeah, he doesn't even know anything about it.
Well, she wasn't like super popular in my house. You know what I mean? Growing up. Especially not in my grandma's house.
You guys don't listen to country music.
Right. So I just kind of knew her from, TV shows and stuff like that. Like interview, like late night stuff. And I was just like, okay, whatever. Like, and it wasn't until way later when I found that podcast, which is called Dolly Parton's America. So if you guys haven't heard that, look for it. It's really good.
It's so good.
And I was like, man, this lady is incredible.
Incredible.
Like, I knew she had a theme park and all that, but yeah, she's an amazing lady.
Well, so we listened to that like a year ago or something like that. It was a while ago that we listened to that podcast, and it's pretty lengthy. It was several episodes long. And I think each episode was like at least 45 minutes, right? They were long.
Yeah, they were long. Like it was
a long breakdown, and it goes from her very beginnings, her childhood, how she was raised, which for those that don't know, her family was dirt poor. And she was born in Tennessee. They lived in this like little log cabin type house. It was a 1-bedroom, and she was the 4th of 12 kids.
Yeah. 12
kids, most of which she had a lot of brothers. So I don't know how many sisters she had, but she grew up with mostly men. And so, very humble beginnings, which I think really shape somebody as well.
Right. For sure.
And where was I going to go with this? And I've hit a wall.
I think, I don't know where you were going to go with that. I mean, I think we're just talking about how dope she is. You know what I'm saying? And like how you were saying how the podcast that we listened to was going like really in depth.
Yes.
But I don't mean,
because it really breaks down. It's not only just about her. That's what's cool about this podcast is it documents, of course, where she comes from, all of her accomplishments and her accolades, which is very lengthy. But it also talks about her fans and the types of people her fans are, and the fact that she's really able to cross so many different races and ages and different what's the word that I'm thinking of? I feel like I have such brain fog right now. It's killing me. It sucks. I'm like, brain fog, not right now. You need to be on. No, when you have, what is it? What's the term for when people are rich, poor, and all that different
classes?
Like, thank you. Yeah.
I mean,
totally forgot that word.
I don't even know if people just use that as anymore, like the class system. I mean,
well, I'm just saying that her fans, she has a wide range of fans, which says a lot. You know what I mean? And so, even politically, like we were listening to it, and they were saying that she's just able to really bridge the gap between people and people who would otherwise not want to be near each other or go to the same type of show or gathering or event. They all come together to see Dolly, and they're all happy to see her, and there's no animosity, there's no differences, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're basically what you're saying is that she is a unifying presence.
Exactly.
Either through her music or through her charitable donations or whatever.
Exactly.
But mostly through her music, because that's the bread and butter. Yeah, she is one of those people that is more of a unifier. Well, I would say like a total unifier.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I gotta give her props in regards to the fact that there's not almost any dirt on her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In regards to, at least in the media.
Right.
Like and in that podcast, it was talking about it, she was just like, I try to stay out of all of that. Which I'm like, that's great. And she's like, politically, like whenever they ask her any kind of, you know, like a hot button question, like, oh, what do you think about this? She always has like a way of wiggling around it, where she gives an answer that's kind of like very, I don't know, it's weird. It's like,
she's witty.
I don't want to say it's wishy-washy, because it's just a real cool way of like getting out of it.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
without
hey, I'm
having
Dolly
to take
Parton,
a
I
side.
love everybody. I don't really want none of that. Like, don't come at me with that. Like,
Yeah. Well, and some people,
she be slipping them.
it's true. The Dolly Dodge.
Yeah.
You know, and some people could argue, you know, that, like you said, that's wishy-washy, that she's wishy-washy, take a stand for something. But I don't think that everybody needs to do that. I think we have enough people that do that. And sometimes we just need someone like Dolly to just kind of bring joy. And that's it. And that's her purpose. That's her goal, that she wants to spread kindness. And I just really admire that about her. I just really respect and love that about her. And it's just something that I think is rare in this world. And I think, you know, even from down to the fact that she has her theme park, right? Dollywood in Tennessee. She chose to put it in a very like kind of distant place in Tennessee. Like, it's not easy to get to.
Let me tell you, if none of you guys out there have ever looked for
where
the
it's
location of Dollywood, it is not easy to get to. Like,
no. But you know why she did that?
I mean, it's not difficult. It's not like you're climbing any mountains or anything like that. But
it's going to take you a road trip.
It's a road trip, though. Like, you can fly into Tennessee. God, I wish I had it up right now. But I remember
Nashville.
I looked it up.
You probably fly into Nashville.
I was like, I'm gonna take Nadia. You know,
oh my God, dream.
It'd be a good trip to do that. And I looked it up. I was like, holy shit, it is inconvenient.
Yeah.
Like, you almost have to stay at the hotel.
You do. But see what you said. Right? That's exactly where I'm getting at. Is
like,
the fact
I get them twice.
The fact that you said that they have
the
to
Dolly
stay.
Double.
They have to stay at the hotel, is because she chose to stimulate the economy in that town. That's the reason she put it in there, was for a purpose.
Yeah.
She wanted to help that town. And I don't know what her connection is to that town. Why them? But that was the purpose. She knew people are going to come here, and then they're going to, you know, they're going to need gas, and they're going to need a place to stay. And they're going to, you know, so it's just awesome.
She's like, and they're going to have to buy it all from me. Like, secretly behind closed doors. You know, when that light hits, like, from me.
Stupid.
Dolly.
Oh my God. Let's see. What else? I mean, it's crazy. So we know she's a singer. She's also a songwriter. She's an actress. She's an author. She's a businesswoman. She's a humanitarian. And she also plays a shit ton of instruments.
Yeah. I mean, no, she's super talented.
It's crazy.
Well, and what you were mentioning a little earlier in regards to how she's like trying to bring kindness and positivity and this and that, which is the reason that I got you this book that's right here. So for Valentine's Day, I was like, okay, I'm going to just get some small, and you should show the camera the book that we got for you.
Okay, you got it.
You got it, dude.
The Little Guide to Dolly Parton, unofficial and unauthorized.
Completely unofficial, completely unauthorized. Just like
it says,
just like our podcast, unsponsored, unauthorized, unofficial.
Yeah. It's hard to be a diamond in the rhinestone world.
Bang. So I just figured, I was like, look, this is cool. And you'll be able to pick up like a quote or two every now and then. It'll probably always be something positive and witty.
Yes.
So
yeah, she's hilarious. I mean, so her whole look, her whole facade, I don't know if you know. You probably know because we listen to that podcast, but I don't know if you remember. But
I'll give you a reaction like I've heard it for the first time. Yeah.
She based her whole image and look off of a tramp in her local town.
What?
Shut up. Please don't.
I'm giving you gold here.
I can't.
That was an amazing reaction.
What? You don't say.
I was somebody in.
I hate you. Yeah.
Do you have something bookmarked already or folded? You're just damaging the book I gave you.
Yeah,
It's
whatever.
yours.
It's
Do whatever
mine.
you want. But did you have one you wanted to read?
I have a few.
Okay. Well, we're probably running out of time, so.
No, we got some time.
Oh.
Oh, this is a good one. People always ask me how long it takes to do my hair. I don't know. I'm never there.
All right. Damn it. I wasn't expecting
That's a
to
good one.
laugh out loud for that one. All right. Give me one more.
Let's see. Oh, here's a good one. This one's for Alan. I always just thought if you see somebody without a smile, give them yours.
Just giving out smiles.
It's a good one. Give people your smiles. And of course, her famous, it takes a lot of money. What did she say? It takes a lot of money to look this cheap.
Yeah, that was
That's
I've
a
heard
famous
before.
one.
Definitely, that's hilarious.
And then there was another thing that she was saying about her. They were talking, some interview or whatever, and they asked her about her amusement park. Like, do you go on the rides? What are your favorite rides? And she's never been on any of the rides at her amusement park. And she's like, I have a tendency to get motion sickness. Also, I'm a little bit of a chicken. With all my hair, I got so much to lose. Like my wig or my shoes. I don't like to get messed up. I'm going to have some handsome man mess it up. I don't want some ride doing it.
I love your
I know.
Dolly
I don't
Parton
sound
voice.
like her at all, but it's country and southern. That's the best you'll get from me.
It's country and southern.
Yeah.
Both.
Okay.
All right. Well,
So what? Go.
no, go. Give me one more. You still giving out facts?
No, no more. I have lots of facts. I'm good on the quotes. Let's see. Should I just start spitting the facts?
Yeah, go.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna.
Let me check the time. What do we have?
We're at like,
what are we
I don't
working
know.
with? Oh, we have 3:58, 57. We got like
Okay.
2 minutes.
Here, let me see the
3
timer.
minutes left.
All right. Give me 30 seconds of just straight facts. Ready
You
to go.
just took my phone with
I'm
all
looking
the
at
facts
it, but you don't have to. Oh.
Smart guy.
I'm sorry, I forgot you're reading it off your phone.
They're not all off the top
I
of my
thought you had
head.
memorized facts. Some fan you are.
Like every detail about Nicolas Cage off the top of your head.
We don't have all the time to go into that right now. I don't want to wow you on a. This is a different podcast episode. This is all Dolly, no Nick.
Well, did you know? So she famously wrote "I Will Always Love You," right? Which Whitney Houston covered later on. But Elvis came knocking at her door wanting that song, right? And she was super down to let him sing it. She was like all excited. But then they came back at her and said, we want half of the rights to the publishing. And because Dolly is smart,
right,
and has an IQ of 145, I don't know if you knew that.
What?
That was off the top of my head.
Oh, damn.
Didn't look at my notes.
Nope, the IQ. Intelligentsia that comes so easily from Nadia.
Oh my god. No, so she's really smart, which is, she's witty.
Yeah, for sure.
Why she makes all her smart business moves. She was not down. She's like, no, I can't give you the rights to my song. Like, I want you to sing it, but I can't. Like, she said something about like how whatever she makes off that song goes to her family, right? She is still rolling in checks to this day for that song.
That's a good song.
Because of Whitney. Whitney blew it up.
For sure.
Yeah.
Because I think I saw something where she was like super impressed when she heard it too. I mean, how could you not be? First off, Whitney Houston, like is a great singer and the song is great. Yeah. And then it was everywhere because of that movie. Yep. And because it was, she, I remember she saw it like, she was like, wow, it was like really impressive to hear something, that song.
But that speaks to her character, that she doesn't have an ego about herself, that she knows that she can. She was happy.
She was like, it was all right.
Yeah. She was like, that bitch stole my damn song. Like some people would be like that. A lot of people would be pretty sour if they wrote a song and Whitney just like made it 100 times better.
I know. That always makes me laugh. Like when someone will have like a rapper will have another rapper on a song and then they're just better than the person's song. So it's like that.
a burn, yeah,
it's like
for
having
sure.
Whitney on the song.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I mean, she really wants to uplift people and women, which is why we're talking about her, during Women's Month.
Mhm.
I want to talk about her in January, but I forgot because it was, January was her birthday, but we forgot. So we got to squeeze her in somewhere. But, you have 9 to 5, which was a huge movie and really meant a lot for women too at that time, that it was just kind of shedding light on the injustices that women were dealing with in the workplace. And she wrote about that. And a lot of her songs have those types of themes of her dealing with that kind of bullshit.
Right.
So, it's something that we need to see it in books. We need to hear it in music. You know what I mean? Like, that was the way that women got the message across in the beginning. That's all that we had until we were able to make the changes.
Right. And when I think back to like those interviews and stuff where I would see her, you could tell that she was always like ahead of the joke. Especially because it's like she always says, she's like, I know what I look like. I know what I'm presenting. This is what I'm. Oh, see? This is what I'm like selling, if you will. So because of that, she's like, I got to be, ahead of the game so I could like flip the jokes or flip the questions. And that I always thought was like super dope because I was like, yeah, they can't
get
like
her.
Like a Bugs Bunny kind of deal. Like they can't get her. Like she keeps like outsmarting them. Like that's really dope. And all of this stuff really came back when we're listening to the podcast because it was just like all of this information. I'm like,
so
damn, this is
much
totally
information.
Yeah. And
sorry, go.
Well, I was gonna say, I was gonna move on to something else. So what were you gonna say?
No, I was just saying that podcast, like they break everything down from like her beginnings of being on the Port Wagner show and how she was just a musical act and then people loved her so much, so then she kind of like started her star started to rise on that show, and he was uncomfortable with it.
He wasn't liking it.
He was not liking it that she was getting all this attention.
I know.
And so when she ended up leaving that show, like 7 years later, however long she was on that show, she wrote I Will Always Love You about Port Wagner, kind of like a farewell thing. Like, and he was nasty to her in the end, and she still kept her cool. And even years later, he had like some financial problems or whatever, and she held him down. She had his back, and that's just the type of person she is. Yeah,
that's crazy. Like every time that some like they would give us a fact on that podcast of how good of a person she is, it's just like yup, it was just like stacking. The deck was stacked so high, and I never thought about it. Like I never give her a thought, but most recently, like last year when this whole pandemic is kicking off, she donated $1 million.
$1 million, I know.
Like, so she gave $1 million to Vanderbilt University, which
for the vaccine,
which is what helped in development of the Moderna or is it Moderna vaccine, right? For this pandemic that we're in, and she just got it like a couple days ago. Who knows by the time they're hearing this? Trust me, she got it. But did you see that she sang like changed the words to Jolene after like getting the vaccine? Yeah.
What did she change them to?
Vaccine.
Vaccine, 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 vaccine.
Exactly like that. Yeah. I think she added like a bar. Like there was a different bar. Like, like she went into it, but she's straight up. So I mean, you can't get any better than that.
No, she's just a smart cookie. Which also, that's one of my favorite songs of all time too. So you got one of my favorite movies and one of my favorite songs of all time tied to Dolly Parton. It's just like,
man, and Boss Move. She posed. She not posed. She was on. Well, I guess she did pose, but she was on the cover of Playboy, but didn't do any nudity at all.
And she was older.
Yep.
How old was she? I forgot.
I don't remember. Not that old.
No, she was older.
No.
I swear. Let me look it up.
To me, the point is like she was like, "Yo, I'm on the cover of this magazine, definitely not nude," and they did the whole article. She said she would do it again when she was gonna hit 75. She's like, if they still have me, I'll be down to do another cover.
She should.
And you know Hugh Hefner was like, come on.
Show us
Come
the jugs,
on.
Dolly.
She's
Show
like,
us what
"Nah."
you got, Dolly.
She bossed up on him. She's like, nah, you're gonna put me on the cover, but I'm not gonna do that.
That's
You
hilarious.
know who I am?
Wait, let me see. Oh, also growing up, I was upset. Like, I don't know if you've heard these songs. They're so corny. Like, looking back and I listen to them, I'm like, the layer of cheese on this music is thick. I was obsessed with Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers, their Christmas album.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. My sister and I used to dance in the living room to that whole, I would play it over and over, and I know all the words.
Well, last Christmas you were bumping it.
I
I was like, yo, these songs aren't bad.
They just have that real twang, like
yeah. And they're definitely like for the season. You know what I'm saying?
for
So
sure.
it's got that saccharine to them, but
Ooh, saccharin. Fancy word for sweet. Let me see. How old was Dolly when she posed for play? I'm like trying to do this with a mic in my hand. Okay, let's see. Oh, okay. I guess she wasn't.
okay.
I thought she was.
No. How old was she?
32.
See, that's fine. I mean, maybe that's old for Playboy, so I'll
It kind
give
of
you
is for
that.
Playboy, yeah.
But I mean, that's not.
Yeah, it says Dolly Parton posing for Playboy at 75. We've
Wait.
talked about it. Look at
Oh my god.
she said Dolly Parton wants to pose again for Playboy for the 75th birthday. Boobs are still the same. That's the quote.
That's what her quote is.
That's what the quote says.
That's hilarious.
amazing. Man, yeah. I love her so much, and I think she's just a really good person. And another thing too was that her dad was illiterate, and she realized early on that like the road to poverty has a lot to do with being illiterate. So she created a foundation for children to help them with, I guess, like children. How would I say that?
To help them with literacy?
Literacy,
Like,
yeah. To help them with literacy, yeah.
To learn how to read.
Yeah, just to learn how to read.
What is this, essential for ants?
I'm like, this doesn't sound right in my head. I'm like, it's not sounding. I'm like, how do I say this? Yeah, so she started that, and so they send books to kids so that they can make sure that they're reading and know how to read and learn how to read. And so it's just, the giving never ends with her.
Right.
Never
Absolutely.
ends with her. So what else can we say about her?
I mean, I think we can go ahead and
We
wrap
can
it
end
up
it, yeah.
and just say
Miley Cyrus is her goddaughter.
can't.
Her net worth is 60
definitely
million.
Can't end
No,
until
60 or 600
why you
million.
putting her business out there like that?
Because you could Google it. It's on the Google. Let me see. Let me tell you. Because there's a big
it's
difference
so
between
funny.
60 and 600.
Duh.
600 million.
I never once thought it was 60.
I mean, that's kind of crazy too, 60.
I mean, yeah, but she's more of a $600 lady. I mean, $600.
Stupid.
$600 million lady. They're gonna come after me. Be like, hey, you trying to cheapen Dolly? I'm like, no, I meant 600 million. I swear.
Oh my God. Do you know she wakes up at 3 a.m. every day?
Yeah, she says no matter
3 a.m.
what time she goes to bed, she wakes up early, but I didn't know it was 3 a.m.
3 a.m. That's crazy. I don't relate to that at all.
That's when I'm going
That's
to
where I
bed.
draw the line, Dolly. She also sleeps in her makeup. Like, she is dedicated.
She's like, I gotta be ready. I don't know who's gonna try to take my photo in the morning.
She's old school like that. My grandma used to do that. I don't know. Your grandma didn't do that. She wasn't into that, huh?
I don't know. I never really noticed.
My nana was.
But then again, it's like I never really noticed. Now you got me thinking about like, did grandma have makeup in the morning? But I don't think so.
I don't think your nana didn't really wear makeup a lot. Like, from the times that I met her and saw her.
Nah, she
wasn't a makeup lady.
She was forever like no filter.
Yeah.
That was her. That was my grandma started that shit. She was like, sin filtro, mijo. I'm like, word. Keep it real.
Yeah. No, not my nana. Matter of fact, I think my grandpa's never seen her without makeup ever. She would sleep with it on. Yeah. It's crazy. But
maybe she was the one playing Dolly Parton records for you. You didn't even know.
No, she did. She did love Dolly.
Well, there you go.
It could have been, and she had it's that generational thing, you know. Like my grandma used to do pin curls and always wear makeup, and she was, you know, had a glamorous, like she carried herself in that glamorous way, you know, and that's what Dolly does too. And it's just interesting the juxtaposition of being a feminist that she is and then looking the way she is. And it just proves that it doesn't matter what you look like,
right?
You know,
absolutely.
To be a feminist. I think people get caught up in that. Like, how can she be a feminist? Look how she looks. And it's like, that doesn't matter.
Yeah, you know? But people are whack. They be just judging for no reason.
Yeah.
Anymore.
So
it doesn't matter.
Team Dolly all day, every day.
She's over here saving lives.
For real.
Vaccine queen.
Saving lives, inspiring people, spreading love and kindness. And that is all.
That is it. We're going to go ahead and wrap that up. Thank you so much for joining us on another Couch Quickie. Bye.
You'd like it.
You know what's crazy? I think I